You're listening to JS Unfiltered, where Sam Cotton and Jason Trevino break down conspiracies, life lessons, and everything in between. No topic is off limits. Let's roll.
Welcome everyone to JS Unfiltered. We have Sam here, we got Jason here as always, and we are JS Unfiltered. We've had a busy week. We got a lot of stuff going on. So let's get started here very shortly here. Oh, actually not very shortly. Let's get started now, shall we? So
Hell
Sam,
yeah, Jason.
kick
What's
us
up,
off,
bro?
man. What you got?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna have this episode record, and we're gonna have two episodes drop kind of within a couple days of each other. So you guys are gonna get a little bit of a binge party right there. It's gonna be awesome. But if
Definitely.
y'all tuned in last week, we were talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination,
Yeah.
and there's new evidence dropping like all the time, Jason.
hmm
There's a lot of people that are just vested in it, and they're trying to figure out what happened, who did it, why the hell are these questions not being answered. I'm not going to do another session on it. I just wanted to bring it up because I think I'm going to let some of that information drop, and then a few weeks down the line, I'm gonna go into like a part two, bro. Depending on
Bring
how
it
much
in.
we
Yeah.
get.
There you go.
Yeah, because I wanna let like a lot of material drop so that we have a longer conversation about it. But if y'all are keeping up, man, feel free to fact check me if you want, because the stuff that I talk about, I've already looked at and I already saw that it's credible. And here's the thing, I'm going to say this too when it comes to anything. We are allowed to question our government, right, Jason?
100%.
That is built into the Constitution. That's the
God
First
given right.
Amendment.
Yep.
Mhm. The First Amendment says not only freedom of speech, but it specifically says in there freedom to criticize your government officials, to be
Yep.
critical of them. You can be critical of the president. A lot of people are. You can be
hmm
critical of your congressman or woman.
hmm
You can be critical of your mayor in your city. You can be critical of the clerk that works for the government that helps you. Now, you should be polite and you should be cordial and respectful, but you're allowed to what? Disagree with what they do and peacefully protest.
Right.
So if I'm allowed to be critical of the county clerk who's filing my DMV paperwork, I'm sure as hell allowed to be critical of the FBI and of the people who I feel, are not doing their job to protect our citizens. What do you say about that, Jason?
Oh, 100%. I mean, if we can't question our government, we're no better than these third world countries that will literally be executed, even if you speak badly, breathe wrong, look wrong, at the government. So yes, it's our God-given American right to be able to have freedom of speech. That's why we're the land of the free, right? So yeah, by 100% we can.
Land of the free and home of the brave. And
There
if
you
you
go.
go to a lot of other countries that are even developed, it's not third world countries, Jason. You go to Russia, they're very developed. That
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have
Okay.
you're not living in a hovel. I mean, you're living in modern cities. But
Right.
if you want to say something bad about the president in Russia, what's going to happen to you?
You're next day you wake up, you won't wake up.
That's
That's
when a black van literally comes, and I've seen
yep.
videos of that, dude. That's scary.
You think two knuckleheads in Russia can do the same thing we're doing here? Hell
No,
no.
no, dude,
God's sakes.
dude, and those are not like just guys in suits. It's called a
Right.
spetsnaz. Those are like special ops, special forces, like soldiers. Imagine them like breaking through your window at night, bro,
Yeah.
and just dragging you out in the middle of the night. Holy crap, how scary that would be.
Oh, God's sakes, yes. That would freak the shit out of me. Yes.
For God's sakes. And that's why, and I bring that up because that's why us Americans have to fight, fight, fight for our freedom.
hmm
When Charlie Kirk died, the day that he died, you know what he was wearing?
Huh.
A white T-shirt that says freedom on the front.
Look at that. Look
Hmm.
at that.
Yes, we got to continue to fight for our freedom as Americans because if we don't, it'll slowly fade away and we'll
Yep.
become just like these other countries where you speak critical of the government, black van comes for you in the middle of the night.
Hmm.
And Jason jokes about me getting taken away in the black van, but that's a reality for people around the world, man.
It's sadly enough, it is. Sadly enough, it is. They don't have the same rights as the same liberties as we do either.
Hmm.
So for those people who just absolutely hate America, go over there. Go to one of those countries that do this kind
Yeah.
of stuff and see.
Go try to do what you're doing here over there and see what happens.
Exactly. Go ahead and go over there and burn their flag and see how far that goes. All
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
you'll be burned too. I mean, it's just that simple. How bad is America now? Maybe not that bad, right? Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah, man.
If the World Cup has taught us anything, I was at Chili's a couple nights ago with some friends for dinner, and
Uh-huh.
we were just watching the World Cup game. It was Mexico against somebody. I forgot who it was. And I don't watch soccer on a daily basis. I think it's boring, honestly. I truly do. But when the World Cup's going on and you got all this energy
Hmm.
going, my God, man, it was ecstatic. You could feel it as soon as you walked into the restaurant. You can feel the electricity of it, right? And I've heard stories about these people coming from England and wherever they're coming from, absolutely loving America and saying
Yeah.
that the way the media and news portrays America is absolutely false. They fell in love with us, honestly. They don't want to go
Wow.
home, So I mean, come on. If the World Cup has taught us anything, it's don't believe your government, don't believe the media. And it's that simple. All right, just that simple.
It's funny because I saw this reel about Europeans going back home after being in America for the World Cup. And
Hmm.
then they're like ordering their food and it's like little baby portions. They're like, why are you giving me the kids' meal?
Or they're going back to like beans and toast. Or like, what the hell is this? Give me a Big Mac. What the hell?
After being spoiled in America, dude, because our portions are big here
Oh
compared to
yeah.
people across the pond.
I saw one where some Chinese guy tried like Texas barbecue for the first time. He had like
Mhm.
some really huge rib. And the second he took a bite of that, you can just tell his face just like lit up. I was like, oh my God. Just imagine that trying food for the first time. Oh, it's amazing.
I mean, that's one of the foods that Americans do best is barbecue, for
Mm,
sure.
I would agree.
Yep,
I
I
would
love
agree.
that. But last week I had a topic, remember Jason, about pyramids,
Hmm.
and then I completely went and took a left turn off the
Oh yeah.
rails
Sure
and talk
did.
about Kirk.
Yep.
And I loved it because that was truly unscripted, I didn't do any research, nothing. I just decided I had a passion in my heart to talk about that. But I do want to talk about the topic that I had looked up last week because this is really interesting. One of the things that I love is I love ancient history.
Mm.
I love things that are old, right? That's why I'm such a good friends with you because I like things that are old. And
Hilarious.
and I like to look into ancient times. And I you can go back to some other videos where I'm talking about there's like an ancient civilization that was advanced. You remember me telling you about that, Jason?
I do.
Yeah, where I think that there were civilizations before us that were just as advanced, if not more advanced. And
Hmm.
there's other people that share that kind of belief. And one of the things that people talk about is they talk about the pyramids. So I'm going to go full ancient conspiracy on this because this is not proven, but
Okay.
it's wonderful to look at because I don't think it's disproven either, to be honest. We're going to talk about the Great Pyramid of Giza. They've
All
been
right.
telling us for thousands of years it's just a fancy tomb for Pharaoh Khufu
Hmm.
and that they built it with these wooden ramps and copper tools by just a bunch of dudes using that to slowly saw these stones. Have you ever seen videos of them trying to recreate that, Jason?
I have not. I have not.
Where they try to recreate building these stones. These stones are massive. Imagine how heavy that boulder is, like in your front yard. That's like the size of a cat, right?
Hmm.
That's pretty heavy. Now scale that up to the size of a car. How heavy is that?
Right.
That's tons. That's thousands
Yeah.
of tons. Now imagine that ancient people who all they had were like little bits of metal on a string and they were just kind of like pulling it across a stone to cut it. And they cut it
Right.
into perfect slabs. and then they use wooden planks to pick up that stone and pull it down hundreds of miles. How
Right.
feasible is that?
Big time.
Does that make any sense in your mind?
No, does
No,
not.
not at all, right?
All right.
So, what do we think that pyramid actually was? So, I'm going to go full tin hat mode today, and I'm going to tell you
Okay.
that that pyramid was an ancient machine,
Wow. Okay.
a power plant that pulled energy out of the earth.
You're talking about transformer type of stuff. Okay.
Dude, like a power plant. No, like we get our electricity from a nuclear, coal, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
An ancient civilization figured out that you could pull energy out of the earth,
Mm.
right? And I'm not saying I 100% believe this, but I think it's plausible. And I'll tell you
Right.
why. So, engineer Christopher Dunn has been saying for decades in his book, The Giza Power Plant. So, people have been researching this for decades,
Hmm.
that he reverse engineered the whole pyramid and came to the conclusion that it was basically a giant acoustical device.
Wow. Okay.
So, here's how it supposedly worked. The earth is constantly vibrating. And we know this because we able to sense earthquakes and we're able to put detectors around the planet. It's called
Right.
seismic energy.
Hmm.
So these are natural frequencies that are just happening all the time under our feet. The pyramid was built with such insane precision that it acted like a coupled oscillator. These massive granite blocks in the king's chamber, they're resonators. The grand gallery and the shafts channel those vibrations upwards. The granite converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy through the piezoelectric effect.
Interesting. Okay.
This is all written in the book, right?
Hmm.
And the craziest part, it might have been transmitting that energy wirelessly.
Oh, sheesh.
And we know this from Tesla.
Right.
Remember Tesla back in the early 1900s or
Oh, yeah.
1800s? Yeah. And he built these towers, and you were able to walk up to the tower with a, this is real. This is not even an assumption.
Right.
People would come up to Tesla's tower with a light bulb in their hand, and the light bulb would just light up because it was
Wow.
transmitting electricity through the air. So
That's
this
crazy.
guy who wrote the book, The Giza Power Plant, he believes that the pyramid was doing that.
Wow.
So here's where it gets really crazy. No mummy was ever found in the Great Pyramid. None. The place where they said there was a sarcophagus, it's empty. And the internal layout doesn't even make sense for a burial site. So those relieving chambers above the king's chamber, the weird shafts that point to specific stars, the mathematical constants literally built into the dimensions, like the pi, the golden ratio, perfect
Hmm.
cardinal alignment, all that doesn't make sense for someone's burial site. So the question is, how the hell did the Egyptians pull this off with the tools that they had?
Right.
The precision is ridiculous on these things.
Hmm.
This giant pyramid, it was only off perfect alignment by like less than an inch. Yet
That's crazy.
they can't even pour the freaking sidewalk in front of your house straight.
Hmm. Exactly. I know, right?
Right?
We have half
Yeah.
time we have trouble with our freaking internet, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't even get your internet because your internet is made by Timu. And this wasn't built by just the regular ancient Egyptians that they say it was built by.
Hmm.
This must have been a leftover from an ancient lost civilization that got wiped out in the stone in the ice age, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
The
crazy.
that ancient civilization, those survivors, they passed on the knowledge.
Hmm.
Maybe they it was even older tech that they had repurposed, or it could have been aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, right now they're talking about aliens so much. I mean, that's a whole nother topic too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm open to all this, man, because I told you like I don't know if this is true,
Yes, I know, right? Yeah.
but what they're saying is true doesn't make any damn sense.
Right.
Yeah, because they want us to believe it's just a tomb, probably so we don't ask the real questions about
Of course not.
what
The last
where the
thing
hell
they
this thing
want
came from.
is for us to ask questions. They
Yeah,
want the power. You know, knowledge is power. So that's what they want. They want the power.
Yeah, you think about electricity. What if it was free? How many billionaires would lose their life pensions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. So what if ancient people had that energy technology that we're only barely rediscovering now?
That's crazy to think of. And then somehow the technology just kind of went away, or whoever did have it put it in a little box until it was time to let it out again. Again, power. No, knowledge is power. That's the sad
Yeah.
part of it, you know?
I mean, and that's a good point, Jason. Knowledge is power. What if that technology didn't entirely disappear? It was just
On pause.
taken by the elites and that
Yeah.
they kept it from everybody else.
And they keep giving it to us little by little. So look at this new thing. Look at this new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That
Yep.
that does question it right there. And again, that comes down to the bottom line. Don't trust the damn government. I don't care who's in charge. You know, it's just like the
Yeah.
five hands of evil right there, man. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I bet those ancient people lived in a society of free energy.
I wouldn't doubt it. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
charge anyone a single dime for it either.
Imagine you had an unlimited electricity in your house and it was completely free.
That would be absolutely amazing. That would be amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
just like they did, there's ways to do it. There's ways
Yeah.
to do it. But does anybody want to do it? Or at least not a way if anybody wants to do it. The powers to be really want to do it. Of
No,
course,
they don't.
that's where all their money is. So yeah.
Because imagine you could have electric cars. Everybody could actually have an electric car and you never have to pay for the fuel of it because there's unlimited free electricity. You can plug it into the socket in your garage, get a full charge
Right.
for free. And then
Hmm.
you could drive anywhere you want to drive at no cost other than the mechanical wear and tear of your car, but the fuel itself would be free.
Right.
And then imagine this trickles down to every level of society. Imagine now you go to your local Walmart and the trucks. You see how many truck bays they have in the back of your Walmart. It's like 10 to 20 truck bays. They're
Hmm.
constantly getting deliveries. Now imagine those trucks didn't have to pay for their fuel.
Yep.
Now your goods coming into your local Walmart would cost less.
Even less than they are now. Yes.
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 The cost of groceries, because you're a potato from Idaho, they don't have to pay for the fuel to bring it over here. Your
Yep.
avocados from Mexico, they don't have to pay for the fuel to get it over there.
Yep.
How much would that drive down the cost of your everyday goods?
Oh my God. It'd be
Significantly,
yeah, exactly. Almost to nothing, really. Yeah.
because they're paying a penny for each avocado and they're selling it to us for like $1 each.
Yep.
So imagine how much that would drive the cost down.
Yep.
How much easier would life be, man?
It's 1,000 times easier.
Yeah.
Honestly, 1,000 times easier. And the sad part is, like I said, there's ways to do it, but the powers to be don't will they will never agree to do that ever.
Unfortunately, this is not 100% proven the pyramids, right?
Right, right, but still, but
Yeah.
just imagine if it was just for a
Hmm.
second of our whole civilization could be vastly different. I
Yeah.
mean, debt there would be no debt. There would be no debt. There would just be, dare I say, almost harmony, and we definitely don't want that. No, of course not. I mean that'd just be way too easy.
Because why would we be fighting over the color of our skin or what country you're from or all this BS that people fight over when everything becomes cheaper, life becomes easier, people have more money to spend, and they're less stressed out?
Mm-hmm.
How much crime would go down from that, man?
Oh, 100%. That there'd probably be none, almost none. I don't want to say completely none because there's always some knuckleheads out there, but it'd be a lot lower than what it is now. That's for sure.
I
Yeah.
saw on a reel today, I don't know if this is going on in your area, but some of the California Walmarts are
Mm-hmm.
are now putting their like meat products inside of the containers that have to be unlocked at the
You
registers.
serious? Even meat
Yeah,
now? Oh my
like the
God.
ground beef.
Almost everything is, granted, almost everything is. The Walmarts have started to pack up things that are like the necessities, like medicine, socks. I've seen underwear locked up. No meat though yet. Give them time. I'm pretty sure they will. That's insane. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
It's like you go to my local Walmart here it's night and day difference from the
Mm,
one I left in California
right.
because you walk in and there's nothing that's locked up.
Wow.
Not a thing except for like the very expensive, like over $100 items, but
Right, right.
that's expected. Um, but none of the little stuff. And then there's nobody at the door that checks your receipt here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, I guarantee you, the people who check the receipts at the Walmarts, they're not even checking for anything. It's just
Mm.
to deter people from doing
Yeah.
anything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I guarantee they're not going to stop somebody from just walking out with something because they're not going to risk their lives or anything.
Yeah.
It's not worth
Yeah.
it. But I guarantee you, they're just there to deter them. But still, it's sad because that's how it used to be a while back. Where there was nothing locked up. You can walk into Walmart or whoever and be just fine, and not have to worry about anything getting robbed. But good old California, man, these people go crazy.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I remember when Walmart was open 24 hours before COVID. You remember that?
I do remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can go anytime you wanted to, get the loaf of bread if you wanted to.
that was so cool.
Yeah, I remember it was the same thing when we lived in we lived in Colorado. It
Hmm.
was almost like the same thing. We had like two-story Targets and stuff like that. There's still one in California somewhere, but yeah, that was pretty cool. California doesn't have anything like that though, honestly.
No, they don't. And then like I think the like over here you could go 24 hours a day in like our gas stations
Hmm.
because our gas stations here they're like they have bigger stores than the ones in California like like AM/PM over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like every gas station here has something at least that size or bigger in there.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So like we have Racetrack, Speedway,
Hmm.
are the main ones, Shell, Twice Daily, all those.
Right, right,
So they're like kind of like your convenience type of stores, and you can go to those late night.
right. Okay.
Hmm.
That does sound like a deal. Though. I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
Should move over here, bro.
One day we'll wise up, man. I'm telling you. One day
We
we'll
would
wise up.
wise up
Get a
soon.
compound right next to Sam Cotton's compound. We'll be just
Dude,
fine, you know.
because like in the state of Tennessee, they have more guns per capita than any other state.
I heard about that. Yeah, that's awesome. I love
We're,
that. That
yep,
100%. There's no
we're
reason
well
not
stocked here,
anymore.
bro.
Yeah,
Anything goes down, any zombie apocalypse, bro. Like I'm covered, man.
do it. Bring it, Mo. Oh goodness gracious. That's
Yes, sir. Last week we talked about hotels.
yes.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I had some follow-up questions for you, but you said you're going to answer those this week. I'm
It
curious
was
about
because
that because
I brought up a topic about how to prevent people from being walked from a hotel. And since
oh,
you're,
that's right. Yeah, because I'm booked at the New York
uh-huh,
for my Vegas convention.
right,
And I was hesitant to pick up Mandalay because they said that they were over. Somebody said it was saying a rumor that they're overbooked and
right,
that they're going to walk people. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just a rumor.
right.
But in any case, I'm worried about stuff like that. So, what is your advice to
Well,
try
let's
to?
see here. See, Vegas is a different beast altogether. And
Uh-huh.
so some of these tips I give you may help in Vegas, may not, but I'll try my best here. I'll take for example, um, I will start with the last hotel brand I worked for, I should say, was Hilton. So I'm going to take them as an example. All right. So the number one way how you can not be walked in general is if you are part of any hotel's staying program, and you're the top elite person, I should say, like either diamond, gold, whatever it may be. With Hilton, I know it was diamond or platinum and gold. All right, so I'll take those guys for example. If you were or are one of those, the chances of you being walked, and I should say the definition of walked means that a hotel is oversold on rooms, which means they have more people coming in than they do rooms. So in the hotel lingo, we call it being walked to another hotel, just in case anyone wants to know what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, your chances of being walked, if you're platinum or gold or at least the top elite or whatever you are, is very slim to zero to none. I know for Hilton, it made it a pain in the ass if you ever even considered walking any of those two type of class of memberships. they made it a pain in the ass because not only did you have to I know for platinum for sure, if you ever dare try to, you had to pay the platinum member $250 in cash on the spot. So it's not a check that's mailed. You would have to literally give them $250 for one, like a massive hell of points to begin with, and hope to God they come back. And if you made that a habit, you will lose what is called losing your flag, which means your hotel can no longer be part of the Hilton brand.
Wow.
Yeah, because Hilton recognizes those two tiers as people who stay there a lot, who stay with the Hilton brand a lot. So you're dealing with the money of the hotel. So the fastest way to get a hotel pissed at you is mess with their money. You don't want to do that. That's a big no-no. So overall, if we were ever in a walkable situation, that we would just be hands off. Just don't even do it because there's so much pain in the ass. Because like I said, you just have to guess, and then you got Hilton on your ass too, and you better have a damn good reason why you walked a platinum and a gold member. Like the hotel better be burning down or something. That would be the only really excusable reason. Now I know not everybody travels that much to be a diamond or a gold member or anything like that, and this can help you in Vegas too as well if you decide to go to with Mandalay Bay. Really is check in as early as possible, even if the room's not ready. Checking your bags with the front desk because the hotel is going to try to use that walkable guest at the very last minute. The reason why they do that is because there's something called a perfect sale. The way that a hotel gives a perfect sale is they have every single room they have in their hotel is rented. I mean, someone's coming to the front desk, they checked in, and they are in the system. They're in the room. That's called a perfect sale. But you can't get a perfect sale if you walk someone. If you walk someone, you don't get it. The reason why the perfect sale is so important, it makes the corporate office happy because they made the maximum money they can. And sometimes with hotels, depending on which kind you work for, the people who are working at the front desk get a little bit of a kickback for doing that as well. But it is kind of like it's a little gambling game you play. And I'll go into a part 2 later on down the week or so, or next time we do an episode, a little more psychology wise of the walking and such like that. But again, arriving early because if the hotel knows you're there, especially if they have your bags, they're not going to walk you, okay? Because they know that you're there, and they're going to wait. They're going to want to wait to the last minute to do so. The earlier you get there, the better. I mean, even if there's like an early check-in fee or something, I would pay it depending on what it is. If it's something outrageous, definitely not. But if it's something reasonable, I would. Just the simple fact that I know that I got in, especially if you already know that they may be in a walkable situation, and you ask, hey, is there early check-in fee or something? I'm willing to pay that. Kind of encourage them to say, I want to stay here, and I'm willing to even pay more to stay here if you're able to do that, you know? So, again, the third option, and a lot of hotels do this no matter what brand you're with now, which is great, is digital check-in. If they offer that, definitely do that because that, again, it guarantees you a room. But what you're going to want to do, though, is with your profile that you set up for that account, make sure that credit card you're using can authorize for the room attacks plus whatever their incidentals is. Because if it doesn't, the hotel will get a little notifications, like a little triangle with an exclamation mark by your name saying something's wrong, which means you're not necessarily checked into the hotel yet. So you can still be walked. And you also get a notification on the app as well. And just like I said last week, nobody cares about your trip more than you do. So pay attention to that reservation. Just don't click check in like, oh, I'm checked in. I can go away now. Make sure it goes through. Make sure you see your room number on there. Make sure this is done. Make sure that's done. Common sense goes a long way. But digital check-in is probably one of the easier ways to get checked in, and you're good. But again, pay attention to your reservation.
Now, help us laymen understand the walk process. If for example, you did those tips and you're still one of the unlucky few,
Yes.
are they like guaranteeing the other hotel they're taking you to? Like, are they gonna give you a ride there? Are they guaranteeing the same rates? Are they what's that look like?
Yeah, so this is something that gets kind of tricky. So if you arrive to the hotel and if there's someone available, yes, they will drive you to the other hotel. What hotels look for, though, are people who stay only one night because it's a lot more easier to walk somebody to a hotel for one night than it is a multiple stayer. Because if you walk someone who's staying 4 or 5 nights or whatever, and then they come back the second night, they already have a bad thought in their mind about you, about a hotel to begin with, because no one likes to be walked. You're staying at a certain hotel for a reason. And so they have a bad thought. You're going to have to treat them like gold. No matter what you do, that person's going to nitpick at every single last thing you do because they're already pissed off to begin with. So that's why they look for one-nighters. One-nighters, you walk them, they might be upset. If they're a Hilton Honors member or whatever, you throw them some points, you shut them up, and off they go, right? You're good to go. So again, yes, if you get there and there's someone available, they will take you. If you're staying one night, your chances of being walked, that's something I can't really help you with because that just becomes down to dumb luck. But the other thing you can do is you can really do one thing that's really simple, but it's the hardest thing to do. So at this point, I would love everyone to take down a piece of paper or send a pen and write this idea down because it's the most easiest idea, but it's the hardest idea too. Because when you're on vacation or trips, you don't think about these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to communicate with the hotel. That's it. So you already know what kind of day you're having, right? For the most part. Sure, there's things that might happen that are out of your control when you're traveling. Flight gets delayed, car breaks down, this happens, that happens, and your first thought may not be, "Oh shoot, I got to call the hotel." Just like that old saying, Sam, when your intelligence or when your emotions are high, your intelligence is low.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens, right? When you're on vacation, something goes out of the norm, and you're freaking out, you're getting frustrated. But taking 5 minutes, calming down, and saying, "Okay, what do I need to do? How bad is this situation? And is this going to delay me? If it is, make that 2 minute call to the hotel. Say, hey, this happened. I'm still coming. Don't get in my room." So the hotel already knows now, okay, that person's coming. We'll next down to the next person as well. So the length of stay does matter. 100% it does. So if you're staying multiple nights, your chances have decreased as well. But you're seeing that those one-nighters, your chances are pretty high. That's the unfortunate thing. But if you follow those steps as far as communicating, digital check-in, communicate whatever you can possibly do, early check-in and stuff like that will increase chances of not being. And again, it comes down to that common sense, and just doing a little bit more effort now. Your future self will thank you as well. And then, so I talked about communication, length of stay. Yeah, so basically, at the end of the day, being walked isn't the end of the world. I mean, granted, if you get walked, if you come to the hotel and you're being walked, the hotel's going to pay for it. Okay, so that's the good thing about it is that you right now you already got a free night because you don't have to worry about it. The hotel's going to pay for it. Now, hotels are tricky though. They are very tricky. What they'll do, because I've done this before myself as well. If I'm in a walkable situation and I already know in advance that I am, I can do this. I can call you up, Sam, and say, "Hey, Mr. Cotton, this is Jason from blah 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 hotel. I verify your reservation, all right, your dates, everything like that, and say, unfortunately, I did have some unexpected maintenance issues that have caused several rooms of my hotel to be unsellable. So what I have to do is I have to transfer you to a different hotel, which is only a mile away from us. It has the exact same room you were going to have with us. It has the free breakfast. It has all the amenities we have. It's just a different hotel. I am truly sorry. I will text you or email you the address, whichever you prefer." And let's see, you're like, "Okay, fine, yeah, okay, blah blah blah." You agree, right? That's the information. Now, what I've just done, I have just transferred your reservation. I never walked you. That's a difference because you never came to the hotel. You were still on the road. So that's not considered a walk. So you're going to pay the exact same rate you paid here over there. So that's how hotels can save their perfect sale by doing something like that. That typically only happens though if the hotels have a sister hotel, which means they're owned by the same company, or if they have a really good relationship with a nearby hotel. That's the only time that really happens. I've used that myself because the one I used to work for down the street from my house had another hotel which is right down the street from them, and we would always do that as well. But that's a little trick that hotels use in general. But for your case in Vegas, Sam, I would say get there early, or if they offer digital check-in, do that. and granted, they can turn that off and on whenever they want, granted. But again, that's just the and even if for some case you do get there early and they still walk you, at least it's like in the morning or afternoon. It's not the butt crack of dawn at midnight or something, where you're exhausted and you're trying to just get to a room because that's the worst. That's what would bring me the worst anxiety ever because I know these people want to stay here, but I have to walk them at the middle of the night. That's horrible.
God sakes.
It's horrible.
Yeah. So what would you say, for example, like I have a membership with MGM, like an MGM
Okay.
card,
Uh-huh.
but I am on the lowest tier because I haven't gambled in years
Okay.
and I don't ever stay at MGM properties except for once in a while. So
Hmm.
I have the lowest tier. Am I better off than somebody who has no MGM card?
You're pretty much on the same level. Because the only
Really?
thing, yeah, you really are. That's just a piece of plastic in your wallet. That's all that really is. So you're pretty much on the same level as someone that's not. You may get some more points if you had to be walked. They may throw some points at you to keep you happy, but that's the only thing that's really going to really change in that aspect.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're thinking about going to MGM, what I would do is I would call the hotel because if they don't have any more reservations, they shouldn't be taking any more reservations. But again, Vegas is a different beast. They may
They
have
don't care. They don't care about people in Vegas, dude.
exactly. Like, yeah, huh, come on in, come on in. So, so I mean, it's that's Vegas is a tough cookie, man. Honestly, because like you said, they deal with people all the time. They probably have different ways of doing this, and it's probably more chaotic there than it is down here for sure when it comes down
Oh,
to
and
that kind of stuff.
I don't know if you've been to Vegas anytime recently, Jason, but
Mm,
they don't have availability for clerks to check you in anymore. Like they don't.
really?
So like they when you go to like these hotels,
Hmm.
they you have to have like the platinum diamond card to be checked in by a person.
Really?
If not, you're gonna go to like an ATM machine to check yourself in.
Oh, that's such horseshit. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That is such, if that isn't separating class, I don't, that's like the freaking Titanic, man, having first class up here and everybody else on the freaking stewage. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's how it is now in Vegas.
That's crazy. How could they get away with that without someone feeling discriminated against? Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Like I
Yep.
said,
Well,
man, Vegas is a different beast. Oh man. I heard valet is not even free anymore. I haven't been to Vegas in a long time because they've
you
been
can't park on the strip for free anymore.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Ever since the
Mhm.
the Raiders went over there and they built that dome thing, man. Things have changed.
Oh yeah.
Holy
You're
cow.
nickel and dimed over there for everything. Now, that's why I'm only going for business.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
never go there for pleasure, you know? Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'm not
Back on the
driving,
strip.
I'm flying in, so I don't have to pay for parking, but
Yeah.
it's not pleasant, man.
Sheesh. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so the cost of things have went up incredibly wild.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, you could get deals if you're off strip, but
Mhm.
I mean, who wants to be in? I mean, I don't know how hot it's going to be in July, Jason. It's probably going to be 120 degrees over there.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to want to go anywhere except for stay inside that hotel,
Yep.
you
Any
know?
activity will be in the hotel. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, but Vegas is a different beast. And next week or so, what you call it, I'm going to more psychological way of how hotels determine being walked, why they oversell their hotels, at least here, and hopefully it'll make everybody understand a little bit better. But in general, if you follow those steps, your chances of being walked should be decreased for sure, at the very least decreased on that. So hopefully that helps somebody in the world there as well.
Yeah, because people, especially families, man,
Oh
like
yeah, that's
that's
worse.
harder when you have to like show up at somewhere. Like I saw this reel and this is real stuff that happens. Like this lady bought a plane ticket, right?
Hmm.
And then she gets to the airport and she says, "Oh, hey, I have my confirmation here, but online wouldn't let me check in." And she went to the clerk and the clerk's like, "Okay, let me check you in." And she's like, "Yeah, it's showing here that you didn't pay for your ticket." And she's like, I did pay for my ticket, and I have a confirmation from the airline. And then the lady's like goes on the computer, yeah, your payment didn't go through. And then she's like, she goes on her app and she's like, it did go through. There's a charge on my statement for the plane ticket, and I have a confirmation. And then the lady's like, well, if you did pay, if you did get charged for it, your reservation's canceled and you'll get a refund. And then the lady's like, I don't want a refund. I want to go on the plane. And then she's like, well, your payment didn't go through, so you can't go on the plane. And then it became like this whole circular thing that happened like two or three times like that. And it's like, one, I don't understand how you could work in a customer service position and allow yourself to be caught in this logical loop. Instead of just being, can you just be human with the person and, talk to them and not just, you're in a customer service situation, whether you're the person checking somebody in for airline, or you're working at a front desk of a hotel, or
Hmm.
you're even like the person that's, heck, a server at a restaurant, whatever it is, right? Don't just read what's on the computer and just like you stick to your guns. That's what I'm gonna do. That's one of the things that infuriates me when I'm talking to customer service of anything, when
Hmm.
they just kind of keep reading. And I've straight up broken their what's the word? Like I've broken their
Trust.
pattern interrupts. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
where I told them, and I remember, I think I was talking to the bank or somebody, and I said, can you stop reading what's on your screen and actually talk to me like a human? I said that before.
Hmm.
And then they did kind of start to change from like being a robot to being more sympathetic at that point. But
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
why do we have to do that?
And what a lot of people fall into is that it's like the customer is against the company. And but what it should be is the customer and the associate against the company. Because at the end of the day, that company doesn't care about the associate, and they really don't. They're just a
Hmm.
freaking number. They're a
Yeah.
person in the spot, you know.
Hmm.
So I don't know why these people they drink the blue juice of that company and say, "Oh, well, I'm following everything to a T." But if you were to be compassionate and be human, you would you would eliminate a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety from both parts, and you
Hmm.
guys can work as a team and come up with a solution rather than just two angry people.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous when that happens. You're right.
Yeah. Because when I
Wholeheartedly.
used to work at the bank, I tried not to be that guy. I mean, sometimes I had to be because I
Of
was in a
course,
management
of course.
position and I had
Yeah.
no choice. But if I could help it, I tried to not be the first one to be like, okay, this is policy. That's why we can't do this and we can't do that because it's policy. If you just ask a couple questions of the customer or the person in front of you first, before you start to say that's not policy, I can't break policy, maybe you could find another solution because you're the one in knowledge, you're the one that has all the information on your computer screen, and you're the one that works in that company day in and day out. So you know more than the customer in front of you. Why don't you use that knowledge to actually find out their situation and find another solution for it instead of just saying no? Because
Right.
it's not, and this is human psychology, it's not the customer wanting to get away with something. It's more so the customer feels like the person in front of them doesn't care.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. There's one trick that I would do at hotels because I was taught this trick a long time ago by a GM I used to work for or work with, I should say. Danny, if you're watching, shout out to you. Power to the people. But what he taught me was, you know how the front desk has that big long counter normally, and when a guest come up and complain in any capacity, you had that desk that's like a barrier between you and the customer. What he taught me was if you would walk around the counter, talk to the person, even sit them down on the couch or wherever's in the lobby, and actually have a decent conversation, you're more likely to calm their attitude down because now they're seeing that it's not them against the hotel, it's you two against the hotel. Because all you are is simple an employee. Something happened. Okay, fine, something happened. Let's work out a solution together.
Mhm.
Let's not
Yeah.
be mad at each other. So it becomes that psychology part of it, just like you were saying. That's what made me remember that. So yeah.
Yeah. And I remember and I working at the bank, and one of the things that we would come across is we'd have a check cashing limit, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So like somebody would come in with a check drawn on the bank that I worked at, and it'd be for a very high amount, and they'd want to cash it. And then our computer had a hard stop saying you can't cash checks for people who are not customers over X amount, right?
Right.
I can't even remember the amount these days. You could, as a teller, just say, "Well, I can't cash your check. It's over the limit. Take a hike." Or
Hmm.
the smart thing to do, and tellers knew this, and they would get me because I would have a conversation with them. I'd
Hmm.
say, "Mr. Trevino, let's sit at my desk. I want to help you see if I can find a solution to get you your money." And we sit down and say, "So you're looking to cash this check? Our limit is $2,000 or 500. Let's say 500. I don't know what it was. $500, and you have a check here for 1,200. Would it be possible if we gave you $500 today and then we gave you the other $700 on a different day? Would that be okay?" And they'd say, "Oh, actually, that'd be fine." Right? And guess what that would turn into? That would turn into me opening an account. So the
Hmm.
bank makes
Hmm.
money off of that. The bank actually makes money off of that
Right.
instead of pissing somebody off and they walk out the door just by asking a couple. I mean, it was that easy. And tellers love sending those kind of people to me because I would just ask that simple question and just
Right.
put it like that. Would it be okay, Mr. Trevino, if I gave you $500 today and gave you the rest on another day? And most people are amicable and they'd say, okay, sure,
Right.
or they'd be curious, like, how could you give me more money in another day? How does that work? Right. And then I would go in
Right.
and talk about the account and all the benefits, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's also sales, dude.
There's
I
always a
always,
solution, there's
yeah,
there
it's always
when
a
it comes down to
solution.
a customer's issue, there's always a solution. You're not saving lives, okay? So there's always a way to get around the policy, if you will. There's always a
Yeah.
way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. And so it's not because you're again doing something like that, the banks is not breaking policy. You're doing
Right.
it within policy. You're not, I guess from the outside you could say it's a workaround, but it's not because the bank's happy. They want
Right.
that. They just got a
Yep.
new customer. The customer's happy because they're gonna get their money.
Yep.
Everybody's freaking happy. Like it just
I
works.
know, right?
Yeah.
If people would take 5 minutes and calm down, they would realize there's so many different ways to defuse a situation rather than both sides yelling at each other. Just take, but it, again, emotions are high, intelligence is low. That's what it comes back down to.
Hmm.
You're not thinking clearly. If you would just shut up, listen, use these two things that God gave you called ears,
Yeah.
and then respond instead of trying to gaslight someone or trying to get you're so desperate to get your own opinion out. Just shut it, and you might be able to get this situation diffused even quicker. Go figure.
So I find it funny, Jason, when I'm talking to people, whether uh I'm just having a casual conversation like I'm having with you now, or I'm even talking to somebody that's interested in joining my business with me.
Hmm.
And one of the things I hear a lot from people, they say, "I'm not good at sales," or I don't think I could do sales. Sales is not what everybody thinks it is,
Hmm.
right? Because people think of sales, they think of the used car salesman. Oh, let me get you into this car because I'm going to get a commission by.
Right.
But did you know that the average everyday person is doing sales in their everyday life?
Right.
Whether it be you go to the store and you ask for a discount because you're trying to get the cashier to accept your coupon, or you're talking to your gardener and you're asking them how much it's going to be to mow your lawn every week, and you're going through a
Hmm.
negotiation, right? Sales is just negotiation and finding a solution. Just like in customer service, just like we talked about, when you found a solution for somebody by asking a couple questions, thinking outside the box, and working with them to find a solution towards the company. So like you're grabbing the hand of the client, right? It's like
Right.
you're arm in arm and you guys are working together to try to find a way through this policy or whatever it is. You
Hmm.
could think of sales exactly the same way, Jason.
Yeah. So true.
Because the
So
person
true.
has a pain point or they have a need or they have something that they want to accomplish.
Yep.
And I, as a salesperson, ask questions,
Hmm.
find out what their needs are, what their wants are, and I listen because the best sales presentations are where you listen 70% of the time and talk 20% or 30% of the time.
Yep. Yep.
And then you say, okay, I've heard you, Jason. I now know that you want to accomplish A, that you are dealing with the pain point of B, and that C is the goal that you want to be at. Let's figure out based on that what you want to do. I have a couple solutions for you. Let me know which
Right.
one works better. And that's sales. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. And then once you
Yeah.
have them and they pick the solution, then you just help somebody.
Yep. There you go.
hmm It
There
doesn't
you
have to be
go.
pushy. It doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be selfish. It's helping.
That's simple. That's simple, darn it. That's simple.
That simple,
You-
darling. It sounded like you called me darling. Did you call me darling?
No, I did not. I said, darn
No?
it. I
Oh,
said,
damn it.
darn
You got my hopes up.
it. Sorry about that. What are you gonna do?
Well,
Oh,
I
goodness.
I heard that Garden Grove in California is going to give money to everybody that's affected by the that thing that you broke.
Uh-huh.
You know that thing that you ran your car into and it caused the
I didn't do
chemical
it.
to come
I
out.
was nowhere near that damn thing, okay? I wasn't near it. I'm sorry, it wasn't me.
I
I
know
just
that's your official stance because we're on a podcast, but some people
no,
know the
that
truth.
was AI generated for sure. You can tell there's like watermarks all over the place. You can tell it was fake news. That's what that was. Fake news. 100% fake
But
news.
they are giving money to people who lived in that area.
I don't believe it when I see it. That's for
That's
sure
what
because
they
I haven't seen
say.
anything yet.
I
Huh?
heard I heard one of my friends that lives in Cyprus said that you just have to fill out this thing and you get money. I don't
I
know.
mean, one's gonna be free money. Okay, I'll
But
take
you
it.
got evacuated, right?
I did. I did.
Then go fill out the thing and get your money.
Well, where's the freaking form? Where do you go?
I don't know. I don't live there. Go
I'll
look it
find out.
up. Do some work.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I gotta go pee, but I'll look it up.
You gotta go pee. Okay. Can you bring the camera in there so we can get some more content?
Oh, foul. Oh, good Lord. Oh, we got banned from YouTube. That was fun. Well, 11 episodes. It was a good ride. Shit. But yeah, I hope everyone's enjoyed this episode for sure. We talked about some more conspiracy theories, some more hotel tips as well, and just having some fun all together because that's what the name of the game is, just having fun. That's it. That's all we can ask for, really.
Good vibes. Yes, sir.
Indeed. Good vibe, good vibe, good vibes. Yes. Good vibes indeed. Indeed. But yeah, so I have to get going because yes, I do have other activities to do with my family here today. So I'm gonna wish everybody a good day and we'll see you next time.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.